technologies for climate change resilient India. The topic for this year essay paper UPSC have given is alternative technologies for climate change resilient India. Okay, this is the topic. Alternative technologies for climate change resilient India. When you choose to write this topic, first of all you should go for brainstorming. You should go for brainstorming. What should you do? Why this question was asked? Why this question was asked? If you see, our Prime Minister Modi got Champions of the Earth Award. Modi got Champions of the Earth Award. Second thing, few days back IPCC released a report. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change released a report. And the third thing, of late we are seeing that climate change is affecting the agriculture more. Climate change is affecting the agriculture more and our human environment more. So the question is, as future administrators, how you are going to analyze this and what type of alternative technologies you suggest? What type of alternative technologies you suggest to make India friendly with climate change and how to stop the adverse effects of climate change in India. This is what the UPSC is expecting from you. So it is not about just environment. You are not asked to write just about environment. You are asked to write about alternative technologies. You are asked to write about alternative technologies in the essay format, not in the answer format. It is in the essay format, not in the answer format. Now I will give you how to do brainstorming. Just listen. Whenever you are writing such climate change issues, you should be able to collect some recent examples and quotes. You should be able to collect some recent examples and quotes. And second, the body of the essay. What is climate change? What are the effects of climate change? What is climate change? What are the effects of climate change? And in various fields, what are the alternative technologies you suggest? What are the alternative technologies you suggest? And finally, the conclusion part of the essay. While doing that, you should try to speak about various models, try to speak about various examples, all these things. So all these things now we will discuss how we have to go with. And you have to start this essay or end this essay, or in between you should write a quote. Definitely you should start or end or write with a quote. Mankind have a lot of greed. They had enough in the world, but if you see their greed, they are contaminating the entire Mother Earth. The Mother Nature cannot tolerate this. One day, the air, the water, the resources and the entire atmosphere is going to become uninhabitable. The entire atmosphere is going to become uninhabitable. There was a very famous quote. When the last tree is cut, when the last tree is cut, the last fish is caught. When the last tree is cut, the last fish is caught. The last river is polluted. The last river is polluted. When to breathe the air is sickening. When to breathe the air is sickening. Means when you breathe the air, you are going to become sick. When to breathe the air is sickening. You will realize too late. You will realize too late that wealth is not in bank accounts. You will realize too late that wealth is not in bank accounts, and that you cannot live by eating money. At that time you realize that you cannot live by eating money. This quote is given by a Canadian writer, Alanis, A-L-A-N-I-S. Alanis Abomsawin, A-B-O-M-S-A-W-I-N. Alanis Abomsawin. Till the last drop of water, last river gets polluted, when the last tree is cut, when the last fish is caught, it will become too late that wealth is not in bank accounts. Wealth is not in bank accounts, and you cannot live by eating money. You cannot live by eating money. So you have to introduce or conclude the essay with this quote. Introduce or conclude. Or you have one more quote given by Mahatma Gandhi. Earth can satisfy everyone's need, but not everyone's greed. Earth can satisfy everyone's need, but not everyone's greed. Climate change is a important concern, grave concern for the world today. Climate change brings erratic rains, droughts, floods, affects the health of flora and fauna. In fact, climate change affects the entirety of human life in all domains, in all places. Untimely rains, erratic rains, floods in Brahmaputra, floods in major Chinese rivers, Indian rivers, droughts, uneven droughts, extensive droughts. When drought comes or flood affects, when there was a environmental changes, it will affect the entire human life and lifestyle. With this, there will be variety of diseases and myriad of attacks on humans. As you all know, Stephen Hawking already told, after 1,000 years, mankind have to search for other planets to live in. After 1,000 years, mankind have to search for other planets to live in. So climate change is one of the grave concerns of the world today. In fact, we can say it's topmost priority for the world, and to work to stop that we have. And in this motto, we have to find alternative technologies for climate resilient India. We have to find alternative technologies for climate change resilient India. See how I have led the first paragraph and second paragraph. First of all, we should define what is climate change, what are the effects of climate change, and we should also define how mankind is going to survive if the climate change is going to be like this, and why this essay have become relevant nowadays. So first two paragraphs, the definition of climate change, the effects of climate change, and if at all you want to write any quote, you can write the quote. Like that, you have to take the lead. You have to write a lead to the essay. Now, alternative technologies for climate resilience. What are the alternative technologies? Generally, when somebody uses the word alternative technology, we will be thinking about world class technology. topmost technology, but that is wrong. You can even suggest using of cycles instead of using cars and bikes. To travel a short distance, the alternative technology, we have already technology available, that is cycle. The way we produce carbon monoxide and other gases by vehicular pollution itself is an alternative technology. Or paper wastage, cutting of trees, using paperless office, making your office paperless is also alternative technology. Even for that matter, you have a word called carbon footprint. Carbon footprint means each one of us, how much emissions we are making per day. Each one of us, how much emissions we are making per day. For example, which car you use, what bike you use, how many ACs you possess, and how you are contaminating environment, what are the gadgets you use, how you dispose the gadgets. All these things comes under carbon footprint. You can check your carbon footprint also. As a human being, how we are contaminating the environment, how our presence is contaminating the environment. This is called carbon footprint. Converting from ACs, for example, eco-friendly ACs is also a technology. For example, we have a road. Generally concrete absorb heat more. Generally roads absorb the heat more. If you make a white painting on the roads, China followed this technology. Los Angeles city in America, Chinese roads, they are white paint. They actually paint the roads with white painting so that they cannot absorb heat more. In fact, they will have an albedo effect. They will reflect the heat back. So there are simple technologies where you can harness simple technologies, gobar gas. Instead of using the liquid gas and other gases for cooking and other things, you can use gobar gas technology. It's a traditional way of protecting the environment. And recently Andhra Pradesh government started zero budget natural farming. Zero budget natural farming. Himachal Pradesh already started that. Zero budget natural farming. And Andhra Pradesh also started zero budget natural farming. What is this zero budget natural farming? See, natural farming is a farming where we don't use any fertilizers, any chemicals, including organic. We'll allow the crops to grow naturally. Intercropping techniques, creating only with the crop residue, and trying to invest zero on pesticides, chemicals. All these things comes under zero budget natural farming. This technique of zero budget natural farming is to make our agriculture sustainable. And all these things you can suggest. And simple thing, we have borrowed from Israel a technology called drip irrigation technology. India is now extensively using drip irrigation technology. Conserving water. Water is scarce. Conserving water without digging the mother earth by using drip irrigation technology also comes under alternative technology. So, sustainable agriculture comes under alternative technology for climate resilient India by using many techniques and codes. In energy, if you see, in the year 2008, the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh launched National Action Plan on Climate Change. In that 8 missions, Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission, National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture, National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency, National Mission on Himalayan Ecosystem, National Mission on Sustainable Housing. Like that we have 8 missions under National Action Plan on Climate Change. So we are trying to make India, we are trying to make our country to be resilient towards climate change, to be very effective to adopt climate change, and we are trying to reverse the climate change also. There was a new terminology called geoengineering. There was a new terminology called geoengineering, where we use various technologies to reverse the climate change. We use various technologies to reverse the climate change. You all know National Solar Mission. We started targeting solar photovoltaic cells, and we are encouraging solar power generation. In fact, internationally India is leading International Solar Alliance. Internationally, India is leading ISA, International Solar Alliance. It's a technology, and it's a technology innovated, and technology now it is in the tropical countries, subtropical countries, and it was a great initiation of our Prime Minister Modi for climate resilient world. For instead of burning fossil fuels, we are trying to get energy through solar technology, wind energy. Muppandal in Tamil Nadu is very famous for wind energy. Wind energy, solar energy, nuclear power generation. We are trying to make many good things, and even in electronics. For example, recently I think you all have heard the news, e-vehicles. E-vehicles are nothing but we use electronic systems to run the vehicles, and we don't depend on fuel. It is environmental friendly. E-vehicles are environmental friendly. Recently, Government of India also tried for alternative energy resources. For example, biofuel policy. Recently, we have launched our latest biofuel policy, Jatropa, Pongamia. We are trying to generate fuel from biological resources. Slowly we are turning our energy, blend of energy things. We are blending more and more biofuels into regular fuel. That was the alternative technology. If you observe, agriculture, energy, then infrastructure. In infrastructure, if you see, I have told example of roads, even green buildings, environmental friendly buildings, green courts, bio toilets. So there are many new things that are coming up. Instead of using ACs and other things, natural air, and we are trying to put some other different systems in the environmental protection. So biofuels and green courts, green buildings. So we are trying to make various things, variety of things in environmental resilient India. And coming back, we are also working on industries which are environmental friendly. For example, few years back, Government of India started 2 programs, PAT and RPO. PAT and RPO, Renewable Purchase Obligation. PAT means Perform, Achieve and Trade. RPO means Renewable Purchase Obligation. We have 2 things, PAT and RPO. Perform, Achieve and Trade is PAT. The industries are given caps for carbon emissions. The industries are given caps for carbon emissions. There is a limit. If the industries reduce their carbon emissions, if they don't use their limit, and if they save the credits, they can trade. For example, I am an industry. I was given to emit up to 10 units of greenhouse gases, but I am very eco-friendly. I am very environment friendly. My entire industry is eco-friendly. What I have done? I have emitted only 5 units. The remaining 5 units I can trade. I will get the certificates, I can trade. This is called PAT, Perform, Achieve and Trade. And Renewable Purchase Obligation. Next thing, the state electricity regulatory commissions, they were asked to purchase. When you purchase 100 units of electricity, minimum 20 units it should be from renewable energy. Minimum 20 units should be from renewable energy. So Government of India also initiated two important programs called PAT and RPO, Perform, Achieve and Trade, and Renewable Purchase Obligation, and both are very important for the exam. So all these things are the alternative technologies for climate resilient. And simple thing, without using much of soil, we are trying to go for terrace farming, we are trying to make other farming material, all those things. So alternative technologies here means there are various things. And recently World Bank gave a report, 2.8% of Indian GDP is getting affected through climate change. Because of climate change, 2.8% of Indian GDP is getting affected. And our ocean environment, in the recent IPCC report, 5.5% difference in the climate change level, greenhouse gas climate change in the temperature, 0.5% difference in the temperature is going to make a very big difference in the life of coral reefs. That means there were coral reefs, you know coral reefs, right? For example, Great Barrier Reef, in Lakshadweep you have coral reefs. 0.5% of decrease of the atmospheric heat, it will definitely help to protect the lives of coral reefs. Coral reefs are very important for biodiversity. Biodiversity is very important for the health of flora and fauna, including humans, including variety of medicines. And snow cover melting. When you make your country climate resilient, you can save your country from greenhouse gases, global warming effects. If all countries take that lead, then what will happen? Snow covers will not melt. And according to recent IPCC report, very soon 50 million population in the world are going to lose their homes because of climate change. And they are called climate refugees. And this snow cover affects the glacial systems, river Ganga and Yamuna and Brahmaputra. And you will be seeing frequent floods in India and erratic monsoons. The famous poet, I happened to read about remember Kabir. What if a rain comes after the crop is dried up? If the rain comes after the crop is dried up? And decline in food grain production. If there is a decline in food grain production, automatically people will suffer, poor will suffer. And excessive erratic climate change affects the poor people more, females the more. Poor people more and females the more. And what we need is sustainable development. What is sustainable development? You develop yourself. At the same time, you should not compromise with the development of future generations. And in 2011 itself, Government of India started an innovation mission to make India climate change resilient India. 2011 itself we have started, but unfortunately we are unable to succeed fully. Still we are not climate change resilient. All the sectors in India, health sector, welfare sector, infrastructure sector, agriculture sector, farming sector, poultry sector, almost all the sectors in India are getting affected by climate change effects. Almost all the sectors. And it's a time for us, for all the young generation in India, to make India climate resilient. And this is the factual base of essay. What all I spoke, it is factual base. This how you have to analyze. Look, how you have to analyze. This you have to analyze by dividing the essay into paragraphs. Health sector one paragraph, energy sector one paragraph, infrastructure sector one paragraph, agriculture other paragraph, like that. Now I will connect the entire essay. See, First paragraph you should write why we need to protect the Mother Earth. Why we need to protect the Mother Earth. You can even write human empowerment can come only with our lifestyle should be in consonance with the nature. Sustainable development and human empowerment are linked together. Sustainable development and human empowerment are linked together. Otherwise, that cannot be done. Otherwise, life will become hell. And second paragraph, you should speak about climate resilience. What is climate change? What are the effects of climate change? Every year, the Earth's atmosphere is getting heated up. Every year, the Earth's atmosphere is getting heated up. Because of emissions of greenhouse gases, we are facing this problem. And what are the effects of climate change? I told you, floods, droughts, affecting flora and fauna, glacier melting. There are n number of effects of climate change. Finally, it will question the very existence of human life on the earth. Finally, it will question the very existence of human life on the earth. Then next paragraph, you have to write alternative technologies. You have to then enter into the essay. Never ever enter into the essay topic in the first and second paragraphs. Third paragraph, enter into the essay. Alternative technologies. As I have initiated, alternative technologies means you need not innovate always. Simple technologies, even traditional technologies. The essay is about alternative technologies. It is not about innovative technologies. Remember, the essay is about alternative but not about innovative. So it can be innovative or traditional. So what are traditional technologies? Organic farming is a traditional technology, natural farming is a traditional technology, and even you have write cycling is a traditional technology. So now cycling have become out fashion except for a movie. Okay, cycling is a alternative technology. So what all alternative technologies you can suggest? Then you have to write, for example, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is one of the important initiatives for climate resilience, for climate change resilience. For example, LEDs, we are converting our energy, we are not using now bulbs, we are converting into LEDs. It is something great. So that is also climate, we are working alternative technologies for climate resilience. And if you observe, under Ujjwala Yojana, we are converting the housewives from traditional way of cooking to fuel to modern way, because that is affecting the climate, their health, all those things. So all these things, so with simple things, with subtleness we can change the world. With gentleness we can change the world. Slowly, steadily. Then you have to write how various technologies are useful at the various stages. How various technologies are useful in various stages. Then you have to divide the essay into paragraphs. Slowly. Next paragraph, agriculture. 2-3 paragraphs is on agriculture. What we should write in agriculture? For example, we have ICRISAT in Hyderabad. We have ICRISAT in Hyderabad for crop research in semi-arid crops. How we are going to use this ICRISAT technology? Drip irrigation technology, natural farming technology, terrace cultivation technology, intercropping technology, and how to minimize the use of fertilizers and pesticides, and how to minimize the spurious seeds. All these things you have to write in that, including the recent technology of precision agriculture. There is a new word called precision agriculture. In Telugu it is called Sukshma Vyavasayam. Precision agriculture. That means you use satellite technology and drone technology. You are going to use satellite technology and drone technology. How much amount of fertilizer you want, how much amount of pesticide you want, what is the humidity in the land, everything with precision you use, so that you won't spoil the health of the soil. You won't spoil the health of the soil. That's called precision agriculture. You will use exactly, no more man's intervention. Only machines will tell. Humans will not intervene. Humans only put the amounts what machines ask. That's all. This is how it works. Even robotics. So we have many technologies, nanotechnology, many technologies to protect the agriculture and to make it sustainable. Here I wish to tell you one example. In Kerala, Kuttanadu rice cultivation. There was a district called Allappuzha district. In that, Kuttanadu rice cultivation. Nowhere in India we find rice can be cultivated in the below sea level. Nowhere in the world you can find rice can be cultivated in the below sea level. In Kerala, Kuttanadu area, rice is being cultivated under below sea level by bringing water from canals and trying to use the marshy lands for rice cultivation. So, even cultivating rice in the ocean areas is something different, alternative technology. I have seen there is a community which cultivates fish. There are various communities which will do that. That's really important. So, you can use this Kuttanadu model of rice cultivation. Generally in the sea areas we will cultivate fish and other things, but apart from that they are cultivating rice also. Kuttanadu model of rice cultivation. In Uttarakhand they will do terrace farming. They use the hilly areas for farming. It's really a different way of producing things. So agriculture, 2-3 paragraphs you should write. Then energy, solar energy, how alternative energy systems you are creating. If every house have a solar rooftop, automatically no house will depend on energy, geysers, all those things. That simple things we can change. And in essay, even you can write a small word. Everyone save a bucket of water. Finally, we can have very good things. See, reverse osmosis project, even solid waste management, e-waste management rules, how we are going to manage our solid waste, e-waste management, all these things take a long way as an alternative technology. You need not write big technologies, because for a country like India, always poor cannot afford a large scale world class technologies which are very costly, but simple technology. For example, bifurcating solid waste into parts: plastic waste, paper waste, biodegradable waste, and e-waste management, properly disposing e-waste. Recently solid waste management rules have come. Extended producer responsibility, there is a new word called EPR, extended producer responsibility. For example, if you purchase a small kurkure packet or small lace packet or a chocolate wrapper, how do you dispose it? The producer has a responsibility to collect it back. This phenomenon is called extended producer responsibility principle. And you have one more principle called polluter pays principle. Whoever contaminates the environment should pay for it. So all these things you keep on just mixing up and writing, and then slowly how you protect your heritage. Then you have to enter into industrial pollution, how you have to make your industries environmental friendly. Then international support, you have to speak about Paris climate deal. What are the promises of India on Paris climate deal? What are the promises of India? And then you have to mention about state of forest report. Recently released in 2017, 2018 state of forest report. It speaks about the target of reaching is, our target is 33%, and we have had CAMPA, compensatory afforestation fund. We have CAMPA fund. We have to create more and more carbon sink. See, for climate resilient India, if everyone plants 5 saplings every month, 50% of the problems will be solved. You need not go for big alternative technologies. For example, Telangana government started Harita Haram project. So planting a sapling is not a big thing, but making it thrive and survive for a long time is a big task. Planting a sapling is not a big task, and we have to make it survive. This is a simple thing. Vriksho rakshati rakshita. If you protect the trees, trees will protect you. Even that slogan you can write. In fact, tree is life. Tree is everything in life. You can even add that quote there. So then finally, again you have to enter what are the problems we are facing with climate change. There is one more technique called greenhouse farming, greenhouse cultivation. See, we have to protect our important crops from, important flowers and arboriculture from greenhouse effect. So we'll have greenhouse cultivation method where we don't allow cold breezes or complete hot waves or extensional torrential rains into that. So we'll have a new technology called greenhouse cropping or greenhouse cultivation. So all these things we can use. Then finally our lifestyle, carbon footprint, how we are going to, and then only when every Indian feels that it is our responsibility to protect our mother earth, then we can protect the mother earth. When if every Indian feels that it is my responsibility to protect mother earth, and finally we can protect. So what we need for this, for climate resilient India, it is that then you have to end with a small story. The story goes, an old man is sowing a seed, mango seed, and all the young people have laughed at him, saying that old man want to live 10-15 years more, he want to eat mangoes from mango tree. Then the man said, I am thinking about next generation. The mangoes are for you, not for me. The trees and fruits are for you. So when you have if you think that we are responsible citizens, we should also think about our future generations. Then only if it's not just government task, it's not just media task, it's not just NGOs task, it is not the task of Environment Ministry to clean up River Ganga. River Ganga cleaning up is not the task just of Environment Ministry, it's the task of every citizen of India. Then only Ganga will be cleaned. Recently we have seen the report, how BOD, pollution in the rivers, Methi river in Maharashtra is the most polluted river in the India. So these things can be done only with people's participation, effective participation. So this is the conclusion of the essay. A good life is inspired by love and guided by knowledge. This particular essay is a literary essay where you can give your reasonable interpretation and you can expand the horizons of the essay with your experience, knowledge, quotes and examples. What you should use? Experience, knowledge, quotes and examples. If I was given the same essay to write, how would I write? I'll give my perception. When love and skill work together, expect a miracle. When love and skill work together, expect a miracle. When you have passion towards doing a thing, when you have an emotional connect of doing a thing, it will definitely inspire you towards a better knowledge. It will definitely inspire you towards a better knowledge. Graham Bell have invented telephone. Telephone have become now an inevitable part of human life. And the first word he said in the telephone was hello. To whom he has said? To his wife. In fact, when he was working, his wife got some problem. It was a story. Then he wanted to have a connection with his wife all the time. So what he has done, he has invented a technology where staying in a different place, you can have a communication with your near and dear ones. When you do with an affection, you can actually cross the borders, any border, any work with love and affection. Mother Teresa's affection towards humanity made her very knowledgeable to explore unconditional love, and that was her way of showing knowledge towards life. Knowledge does not mean scientific inventions. Knowledge means discriminating good and bad, knowing the distinction between good and bad. And Plato, a great Greek philosopher, said, virtue is knowledge. Virtue is knowledge. Having good habits, good etiquette, good value system itself is knowledge. That person is great who have virtues than factual knowledge. In fact, virtue is knowledge, Plato said. And with love, you learn lot of virtues. And that virtues, they are knowledge. Take the life of Swami Vivekananda. He had tremendous love towards humanity, extensive love towards humanity. That made him to gain infallible knowledge towards the world. In fact, when he was young, he died, but he has disseminated the knowledge. The knowledge is practical Vedanta. Practical Vedanta. What is practical Vedanta? He realized with his virtues, with his love towards humanity, that Vedanta we cannot find Vedanta in hills or jungles. We can find Vedanta in solving the practical riddles in life. In solving the practical riddles in life. Swami Vivekananda told, see, we all speak about Sanskrit slokas, or we all talk about temples and acharas and various procedures. But he told, if you really love the humanity, you will also have the knowledge that God can be seen everywhere. God can be felt everywhere. He also told, see the Shiva in the lame, see the Shiva in the deceased, see the Shiva in the poor. In fact, Jiva is Shiva. Who taught him? Again, the love of his teacher made him to realize that all the humanity is one and same. Vyasasti and Samasti. All the humanity is one and the same. Swami Vivekananda. Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam, the great man in India. A combination of character and knowledge, virtues and knowledge. There are many knowledgeable people. For example, there is one knowledgeable person called A.Q. Khan, similar like our Abdul Kalam. But A.Q. Khan in Pakistan sold nuclear technology to North Korea. Okay, knowledge itself is not important. It was love towards humanity, love towards oneness, love towards one family is very, very important. And Abdul Kalam showed love towards nation. In fact, he inspired nation. He was a great scientist. He made many missiles. And finally, he ended up in doing the task what he liked the most. He inspired millions. That was Abdul Kalam. And a combination of knowledge and love. And coming to various things, Mahatma Gandhi. There are people in India, people in the world who are the combination of love and knowledge. And you all know Confucius philosophy in China. Have you heard about Confucius? Confucius speaks many things. One best thing was, one who cannot love their near and dear ones cannot love the universe. And one who actually are fascinated towards their family can love the universe more. There is no wrong in one person loving his own family first. This is Confucius philosophy in China. And in fact, Bhagavad Gita is the best example of love and knowledge. Both love and knowledge. Bhagavad Gita made the king, asked the king, that is Arjuna, to think about his love towards his subjects, love towards his citizens. At the same time, he also made him to realize nothing is permanent. You should do without any expectations. Nishkama karma. Nothing is permanent and you should do without any expectations. That is Nishkama karma. So, renunciation through action and action through renunciation comes only when you love and when you have knowledge. Renunciation through knowledge and knowledge through renunciation. And love is an emotion. Without that you cannot do. Unless you love to serve the people, you cannot work hard for anything else. Unless you have that love towards particular goal, you cannot achieve it. That makes you passionate. That makes you determined. That makes you really strengthened. In fact, love is something called universal. It's a universal phenomenon. And this is a very complex thing, the relation between love and knowledge. In fact, we can gain knowledge and we can lose knowledge also with love. Love cannot end up in obsession. Love is a passion, but it should not end up in obsession. So, love and skill work together, expect a miracle, and with love we can gain more knowledge. Love without knowledge is useless. Knowledge without love is futile. Love without knowledge is useless. Knowledge without love is futile. Here I wish to tell you a small example. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Do you know him? He was a great lawyer. He was a great lawyer. He was arguing a very historic case once in a court. He was arguing a historic case. In between he got a slip from outside the court. He got some letter. He read the letter for a while and folded it and kept in his pocket and continued the argument in the case. After the case is over, other people asked him, what is that you got in between? It's a letter that my wife died. It's a letter that I got a communication, my wife got expired. And he loves his wife to such an extent that he never married again. He has love towards his wife, but he has knowledge that he has to undergo and he has to take his task, finish his task. I'll give a small example. I read somewhere, I was told that APJ Abdul Kalam was on the duty when his mother expired. When his mother expired, morning the news have come to him. He finished all the work. He enters the next day work to everyone, and in the evening he left to his native place. He loves his mother. At the same time, he loves his task also. Knowing what to start, how to end, and having the emotional intelligence of practicality and trying to draw the thin line between love and obsession is the greatness of great people. They know where to stop and where to start. There is a very famous quote in Telugu, Janani Janmabhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. Unless you know that mother and motherland are the important things, unless you know how to love motherland, you cannot achieve great things. Without love, there is no life. Without passion, there is no achievement. But again, knowledge is an equal supportive point for love. Both should go hand in hand. Both should be supplementary and complementary, but should not be contradictory. Both should be supplementary and contradictory, but should not be contradictory. Knowledge here means not just factual knowledge. It is something like character, content, analysis, determination, more importantly emotional intelligence. Knowledge means here discretion. Knowledge means wisdom, not just knowledge. It means wisdom and discretion. Ones who know this discretion and wisdom can conquer the world with love. And you all know great wars were fought. Great wars were fought in the world with love, but without knowledge. You all know Julius Caesar story. You all know various stories for what they have fought. But you should have both knowledge and love to make the world a beautiful place to live in. Otherwise, the life will be ruinous. Okay, done? This is the essay. What is the essay? Em cheppa? A great life, a good life is inspired by love and guided by knowledge.